I have made hundreds of mistakes. And I wish someone sat in front of me and said, Talia, just make sure you don't make these mistakes, because if you make those mistakes, your landing page isn't going to convert. Or if it does, you're not really going to get the results you could get if you were to avoid these mistakes. So this is why today is all about mistakes. And I want to get straight to it. So let's dive into mistake number 1. The first landing page mistake is that you are asking your prospects to take too many actions. Now, what I mean by that is not that you have too many call to action buttons, because if you watched my previous video, you know that I like to include many different calls to action within my landing page, but they're all the same call to action button. Maybe they have different copy, maybe they look a little different, though I try not to, but the request is always the same. And let me give you an example of what I mean that happens so many times for so many marketers, so many entrepreneurs, coaches, founders that I have spoken to who have created landing pages make this mistake. And the mistake is that you've already set your landing page goal. You know that you are trying to grow your email list. So you've created a wonderful lead magnet and you're trying to get everyone to sign up to it. But within the landing page itself, you also say, well, if you want to book a call with me, here, click here. Or if you would like to watch a demo, here, click here. Or if you want to watch a video of me on YouTube, here, click here and go there. Or it could be even the simplest stuff like follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, whatever it is. These are all different competing call to action buttons. And this is wrong for various reasons. Number 1 is that if you are asking for different types of actions from people, you are straight up confusing your prospect and you're not helping them make a decision. They're already on your page, they're ready to convert, or maybe they're thinking about converting, but now they're not sure what is the right action. Should I actually book a call with you? Should I sign up to your email list? Should I download the guide? Should I follow you on Instagram? Oh, look, a shiny new button, and they're gone. So that's number 1, you're confusing people. And the second reason is that you're actually also confusing yourself, because you won't be able to measure the success of your landing page. Because if you have multiple requests from people, how are you going to decide if that landing page is working well or not for you? How are you going to decide if you should optimize this page, if there's a problem with the traffic that's coming to the page, if there's a problem with the copy? You won't be able to know that because you have too many requests, and some people are signing up to the list. Some people are going to a YouTube video. Some people just look at the page and run away because they don't know what to do. So big mistake, do not include more than one call to action on your page. And again, you can ask people to take the same action throughout the page. Again, in my previous video, I mentioned that in every section, almost every section, I include a call to action button. So that's why it's super important that when you're creating your call to action buttons, make sure to make it very, very clear that the end result is very obvious. So for example, if you are trying to get people to sign up for your lead magnet, as I was saying, then you have a guide and you could include multiple calls to action on the page, but they don't have to have the exact same copy. You could say on one call to action, yes, send me my guide. In the next call to action button, you could say, sign me up for the guide. So what you do is you still kind of frame it around the fact that people are downloading a guide, but you're including various different calls to action so people can opt in throughout the page if they're reading. But again, this is not calls to action for other things. So that's mistake number 1. Let's move on to mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is to do with the promise that you're making on the page. So many marketers and essentially founders, entrepreneurs create ads on Facebook or send emails to their list or maybe post on social media driving people to a landing page. And what happens is they make a promise in an email or they make a promise in an ad, and then when people land on their landing page, it has absolutely no connection to the reason they came to the page. So for example, maybe in your Facebook ad, you spoke about the fact that you have a 70% off offer on the first coaching call that you do. However, when they land, they click through from the ad, they land on your landing page, and then the promise is something completely different, and there's a YouTube video of you in there, and you're explaining how to do something, which in itself is valuable, but that's not why people clicked through from an ad or from your email campaign or from a social media post to that landing page. Another example is that you are posting on Twitter or on Facebook or in a Facebook group, and you say, here's my free guide on how to create or how to grow beautiful tomatoes. And people click through, and when they get to the landing page, it's a whole pitch about yourself and your services and what you do. And then at the end of the page, it says, oh, and here's that guide that I mentioned. So that is not delivering on your promise. That is essentially confusing people. And you'd actually be surprised about how many people make this mistake. You send people to a landing page for a certain reason, and when they get to the page, that isn't on the page, or it isn't easy and clear to find that promise that you made. So when you're thinking about the landing page that you're creating, always think about the pre-click, what people did before to arrive on the landing page. For example, some pages are actually organic, right? Organic traffic comes to this page. You also have to adapt to that. So just think about, where are people coming from? What do they have in mind when they're coming to your landing page? What are they hoping to accomplish? What are they hoping to find on it? And make sure that that question is answered immediately, and that people really know exactly where they've landed on and feel that they've come to the right place. Mistake number 3 is actually a mistake that really aggravates me and kind of frustrates me. And that is that you are creating short landing pages because somewhere along the way, someone told you that people don't read, and that you have to create a very short landing page and be very precise and be very salesy and go for it, because no one's even going to scroll on your landing page. No one's going to read what you have to say. So have a huge button, and I don't know. So that drives me nuts, because firsthand, and I'm just going to say this because I have created thousands of landing pages over the past decade, and the most high converting landing pages that I've created are super long, and they have a ton of copy in them. So I just wanted to put that out there. It seriously aggravates me. And it aggravates me because the people who are writing these blog posts or giving you all these suggestions on how you have to save your words and not write long copy, and God forbid, don't write a ton of copy on your page because people don't read, are really, really sending you down the wrong path. Because the only reason people don't read is if you're not giving them a reason to. If you are making it about things that they don't care about, if you are essentially talking about yourself, or if you're not essentially giving them a reason to read. Landing pages need copy, they need content. And here's a newsflash: copy and messaging matters more than design. Now, this might freak some of you out because you're like, whoa, I don't know how to write copy, but you do. You do, and you can learn how to write copy, and you can get new frameworks, and you can learn new copy formulas. And that's good news, because you don't have to invent the wheel. You don't have to sit around hoping that words will fall from the sky and you'll know what to write. But the good news is that messaging matters a lot more than design. Now, I'm not saying that design doesn't matter, because it is huge. And you can write beautiful copy, but if it's not framed in the right way and there's no supportive design, it will be hard to read, and then people won't get it. But essentially, when I'm building a landing page, first I write the message and I write all the copy, and then I design around it so that the design supports the message. And this is actually not a common thing, because apparently people create the design that they think is going to look really pretty, and they choose these beautiful templates and they send it to the designer. And in the middle, you'll see lorem ipsum text, which is generic copy for hey, some copy will go in here one day, and that's it. But copy and messaging should dictate your entire landing page strategy. First, you write the copy, and then you design. And that's why writing copy is super important, and long form landing pages do work. It's a thing. They work. They convert. So it is important not to say, oh, I can't write this paragraph about, I don't know, this pain, or I can't tell my story on the page because people won't read it. That is not true. People do read if you give them a reason to read. And I can tell you that in this world where we have 40,000 messages a day and we're seeing ads and all sorts of app notifications and everyone's trying to grab your attention, the only way to actually stand out in this crowded market and all this noise is to write copy that resonates with people, that touches people. And to do that, you need to relate to people. You need to show them you know them. You are like them. You've gone through what they've gone through, and this is why you're the right person or company to solve that problem. You can't do that with a flashy headline and one call to action button. No, you need copy. You need sections. And again, if you go back to my previous video, I actually explained that the second section on almost every single landing page I create is the section where I talk about the pain, how it's agitating them, how it's affecting their lives, and what the solution is. And that is a long paragraph, 2 or even 3 paragraphs sometimes, really diving into the pain and what they're feeling. So that mistake is one you have to avoid. Don't listen to all the noise and all those gurus and all the people that are telling you that people don't read. People do read, and it's important to write copy that resonates and relates to people. Whew, yeah. That really aggravates me. Mistake number 4 is actually completely related to the previous mistake, and that is that you might be making the landing page about you, about yourself. And what I mean by that is that everything on the page is about your offer, your solution, its pricing, the bullet points, the features, everything that you're offering. But when the prospect lands on your landing page, there's nothing in there about her that she can relate to. Now, the most high converting landing pages I've ever created and I've seen by the biggest brands in the world know that the key to creating a high converting page is actually making it about the customer. Essentially, the most important thing to remember is that people don't buy products, we don't buy services, we buy better versions of ourselves. We buy into a promise, which means people are coming to your page with a challenge. They are going through something, and it can be a work-related challenge, it could be a personal life challenge, whatever it is. They're on your page hoping that you're going to solve it for them. Now, they need to know how it's going to help them. When you talk about yourself and your pricing and your features and how amazing you are and everything that you've done, that's cool. I mean, it might give you some social proof and trust, but that comes way later. What's important first is to make it about them, is to have a promise that really speaks to them and their goals and their desired outcomes. It's to have a section on the page that explains all the pain that they're going through, everything that they've tried that isn't working, or the stuff that they're feeling right now, if they're frustrated, if they're confused, if they're lonely. And again, this is also true for B2B. And then the solution. And the thing is that when you make your landing page, and this is actually a rule for all marketing, but when you make your landing page about your customer, about your client, you are way more in the way of actually increasing conversions and getting more conversions or sales or booking more calls or getting more people on your email list, because that's what people are interested in. They're interested in themselves. We want to know, what is the value for me? Cool. You have these features. Great. That's the pricing. Fantastic. But why should I choose you? And when the way to do that is to make it about them. It's to show them that you know them, that you relate to them, that you understand them, to show them that you are the right decision. And at the end of the day, it's about them. It's about their decision. It's about what they're going through. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're writing bullet points on the page. One of the cool things and the best ways to make it about the customer is to explain the result for them. So for example, it's not just helpful to say, this is easy to use, but you need to say, this is easy to use and it will save you those hundreds of hours that you're now spending going through spreadsheets, because I'm going to do it for you. for example. Or you can save hundreds of dollars on X, but how do you make it about them and say, hey, you could spend it on something else. You could put it towards your child's care. So whenever you're writing something on a page and whenever you're thinking about any element on the page, always think about, okay, cool, this is what I'm offering. And what is the value? Can I attach everything that I write on the page to the value that they are going to get and what that means for them? The final mistake is actually that you may not be following up. I know, crazy, but that is a very, very common mistake. You get people to sign up on your landing page and then you disappear. Two things that are super important in order to actually keep the relationship going, increase conversions, and get people to keep coming back. And that is, you need to create a thank you page and you need to send them an email. No matter what action it is that you're asking them to take on the page, it's super important that you follow up with a request. So number one, it's a thank you page, not a tiny little message that says thanks, expect an email in your inbox. No, an actual page that comes after the landing page, acknowledging that they took a very important step, that they're on their path to solving this issue, and that you're going to X, Y, and Z. I'm going to show up in your inbox any minute now. I'm sending you my best tips, or here's a video you can start watching right now to solve this problem, and so on. So the thank you page is the first follow-up, and that is important because, as I mentioned, too many pages just end as soon as you convert, and that's not very helpful, because if you want to maintain a relationship, if you want people to expect and open your emails, you need to tell them what to do. You need to tell them what to expect. It actually works on a very cool psychological trigger. It's called the foot in the door technique, which means that we are far more prone to taking additional steps once we've taken one step. So when someone's converted on your landing page, they're far more likely to take another step on the thank you page. And the thank you page can be used to either, as I mentioned, like maybe you're upselling a video, maybe you're selling something on that thank you page, maybe you're just telling them thank you and telling them to go to their email. But whatever it is, you can get them to actually take another step, even answer a question that you want to know about them. The next follow-up is actually the email. And this is super, super important. You made a promise on a landing page and now they're on your email list and you need to deliver. You need to show up in their inbox super quick and say, here's that thing that I promised you. Even if you provide it on the thank you page, still send an email, provide that free gift, acknowledge the fact that you've booked a call with them, whatever it is, and tell them what to expect. The art of following up isn't taken seriously enough. If you want to create a high converting experience, not just a landing page, but an entire experience that not just generates leads, but actually generates sales, you need to follow up. And too many landing pages just end. Okay, so those were the biggest mistakes that people make with their landing pages. Number one, you have too many calls to actions to too many things. You're confusing the heck out of your prospects. Number two, you are also confusing people who are coming from various different traffic sources who have no idea where they arrived on. They came for one thing, they arrived on the landing page, and it's something completely different. Number three, you are creating short landing pages with a headline and a call to action button because someone told you that people don't read. Well, people read, you need to write to them, you need to make it that they can actually relate to you and understand why they're on the page and why it's worth their time. Mistake number four is that you're making it about yourself and you want to make sure that your landing page is about them. What's their value? What's in it for them? What are they walking away with? And that is the only thing that will convert people. Lastly, you don't follow up. You aren't actually sending them an email. You're not presenting them with a thank you page acknowledging the steps that they just took. Those are the 5 biggest mistakes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful and you now know what mistakes to avoid on your landing page.